Okay. All right, so here we are. How's everybody doing today? Good? Greg?
Fine.
Pretty good.
Pretty terrific.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Fine.
Happy winter, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
Snowed this morning in the middle of May.
Yeah, that was
Like
great.
that.
It snowed.
Yeah, it sleeted, actually.
That's
Or
because
hailed.
Pittsburgh is for the Nords.
I don't understand. Whoever's like controlling the weather is like let their kid in the room and like they're just playing with the switches and shit.
Pushing buttons.
Yeah. They forgot for a while. Oh fuck, where's Johnny? Oh, he's in the weather room. God.
Boop, boop, boop.
Anyway, let's hit that theme music.
Grown-up, human, comic, people! Grown-up, human, comic, people!
All right, so we're here.
I think
We're-
we should start with cheers like we always do.
Well, yes, we
honestly.
should. Yeah.
Yes.
Cheers.
Since Dan isn't here to say
Well,
it.
yeah, we're.
Cheers. Greg, okay.
There we go. All right, so
Got glass this time.
plastic bullshit. So yeah, we're down a couple people this episode. Both of our Dans are out of town. We are Danless
Yeah.
right now.
Can you
so
put in the sad trombone sound?
I have that sound clip. Bum, 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 bum,
Yeah.
wah.
Oh, the Price is Right
The
sound.
Price is Right one, yeah. We'll put that in there. I need to give you the drinking at work theme
Okay.
too. I forgot to do that last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
got some of these clips.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we're gonna start with let's see. Oh, well, what Jin's doing? Who wants to go? Anybody?
Greg.
I'll do it. I came across a few copies of we already did the wrap up of the Walking Dead season, and I told a couple of these guys that I came across some copies of the comics. So I actually started in the doldrums of the summer. I'm probably going to be working my way through reading
whole
some of the yeah, just for the heck of it, or at least skimming. I don't know some of the parts, and because. I went to the beginning. The only one that I've really read has been so far the first trade, because which is the first 6 issues, which takes you up to, well, I can't even say because it's like it even starts to diverge that early on.
Yeah.
Famously, the timeline's a little bit messed up between the show and the book, but
As it should be, I think.
yeah, it should
Right.
be. And that's my observation. So without even getting into details, because at this point more people have, I'm sure, seen the show than read the book, but I think I was telling Jared this a couple of days ago that the way I like to think of it is not just that they're messing with the readers intentionally or anything, or in a way to keep it fresh. I think of it as an alternate timeline, Sliders style.
Oh, yeah.
So
Sliders.
So think about this.
Sliders.
Who are two pretty famous characters? Well, I guess at this point, like one famous character who's still alive in the show that are not in the also famously not in the books at all. The
Daryl.
Dixon brothers,
Yeah.
Daryl. So, and I say Dixon brothers because we see Merle first, but was their presence or absence enough to knock the trajectory of events off course? Is like.
So, like in an alternate universe, in the comic book universe, you're saying like maybe they were killed earlier, or they just like their family didn't move to that area,
Just ended up in a
or-
different group.
Yeah, there's for some reason they just didn't come in contact with.
Yeah,
Rick. Yeah.
And did that, like maybe by Daryl and Merle, those assholes of the group not being there, did that vacuum affect Shane in such a way that it accelerated his conflict with Rick to the point where it well, I guess this is a spoiler, but it ends much sooner for Shane.
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
book.
Before he moves to New York and
Yeah.
loses his family.
Yeah. So I said, oh gosh.
Much sooner.
Dang. Yeah, I guess I should talk about the book as being it's like sort of the control group sort of, and then the show being divergent from that, because that by the Dixon brothers being there, or anything else. There's a character named Donna that I don't think is in the show.
Is there a Donna in the show? I don't remember. I
don't
haven't
think
watched
so.
the first
I haven't
couple
watched
seasons in a while.
God, so long.
Some old movie. Anyway, so
remember.
by that, like things just butterfly effect. All things change, and so by thinking of it that way, it kind of makes it a lot more entertaining.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
if you're not familiar with one, to check out the other.
Yeah, I know. I tried to. My buddy has the omnibus of the first omnibus, so it's like the first whatever a bunch of issues, and I started reading it. I just couldn't. I don't like really the art that much, and it's black and white, and
Yeah.
that really pisses me
I
off.
don't like them either.
Wait, black and white for Sliders? Really?
No,
No,
for
for
I'm talking about Walking,
Walking
Dead.
Dead.
Oh, the Walking.
Yeah, the
that's
comic.
why I
The
can't
comics,
concept
they're
of.
Yeah, the
really,
comics, it's
I
black
think
and white.
they're so
Really?
poorly drawn. I think
I
their
did. Yeah,
art was
it's just
terrible.
not. It's not. I don't like the art at all.
How
so
can
it's.
they convey blood and rot?
You can. That's
I don't know.
why
You
it
can. It's
sucks.
like yeah, it's
Because
not
you know how I
that-
feel about zombies, but still, I query.
Yeah.
Rather justly, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's a good justification for black and white. The only other, and I've mentioned this before too, I think, but the only other, like I've wanted to, I'm a big fan of the movie Akira, and I've wanted to pick up the comic, but one thing that I like of the movie so much is all the visuals of
vibrant
everything.
colors.
Yeah, and that's not in the comic at all. I think, damn, what's the point?
Yeah.
I mean, not what's the point, because obviously there's depth to it and everything, but
There are some really awesome comics that are black and white. Like we didn't talk about Pencilhead yet, but that
Oh,
the,
Pencilhead is
the
good.
art, but the art in that is really cool. It's like it's halfway between it's like almost like a little Tim Burton-y. It's like a
Yeah.
little bit
Which makes sense for black and white.
like
I mean,
yeah, like Raoul Dahl almost.
Yeah,
like that kind
yeah.
of stuff. That's black and white. And it's like interesting and like all the like just. It's almost like you do have color because there's like so much shading and like interesting stuff going on. But The Walking Dead, the art just doesn't. It's not as stylized really.
Yeah.
it seems
It's
strange
just
to
black
say-
and white.
It seems strange to say also it's a little cartoony.
Yeah.
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 really, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
All right,
It
now,
is. It's drawn in that
forgive
way.
me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
given my abhorrence for zombies. Was The Walking Dead show based on the comic or vice versa?
The show is based on the comic.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. But it's it's just not. I don't know. I didn't grab me. Maybe I'll if you read a bunch of them and you say I should read them, then I'll read them. But like, I never really felt the need to go all the way through the. Plus, there's like what 150 or
Yeah.
more than that
By now, yeah.
Yeah. Down at the comic book shop, we were shipping out some CGCs, and Tim, who works there, and actually Tim, who has another podcast, the Nerd Exchange podcast. Good, check that one out if you're listening. Shout out to Tim. Tim's cool. But he had a first print of number 1.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't in great condition, but like it was. I was like, oh wow, I've never actually held one of these in my hand before. It's like cool to look through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yes, that's me. That's been within the last couple of weeks. I came across that. So, yeah, glimpse into my near future.
Okay.
Yep.
What have I been doing? Well, we all watched Deadpool.
Oh yeah. Ooh, are
Recently.
we going to be talking about that now or later?
We'll talk about that in a second. What else? A couple of new comic books. A bunch of Image firsts got at Free Comic Book Day. From,
Oh yeah, I was
from the
actually
comic
going
book
to mention
shop.
that in my watching soon too.
Yeah. I actually haven't read any of the actual free comics, so you can cover that. What else have I? don't know, I've just been chopping away at my massive stack of comics that is perpetually on my desk. Oh, I started reading Ready Player One, which is a book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's I forget who wrote it, but it's pretty interesting. It's the concept is that there's like the setup is that there was this kind of like Steve Jobs type dude who created essentially like an online virtual. It's like the next iteration of the internet. It like started off as a World of Warcraft type game, and became like the way that people interact with the internet as a whole.
Yeah.
So you have like your avatar, and like you people are just online all the time. But the guy who created this, in his like will or whatever, once he died, left clues to like his entire fortune throughout like various media and like throughout this online world. So it's about how the main character is trying to find
Ernest
all
Cline.
these clues. Yeah,
That's his name.
okay, yeah. All these clues to the treasure or whatever. It's from what I only read like the first chapter, but it's pretty cool. So I'm reading that right now, and I just got another one of the Star Wars the books that take place between like Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. So this one's supposed to tell the story of like Leia and the Resistance. So that'll be pretty cool.
Hey.
Yeah.
Did you know that Steven Spielberg is set to direct Ready Player One?
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah.
And it's funny
well,
because
he
like
signed on to it like this time last year, and I guess they've been casting in the meantime.
yeah, and for some reason like because I guess there's a bunch of references to his works, but he said that he's not going to include any of that stuff, which I mean. I don't know. That seems strange, but I mean,
strange. But I kind of
Steven
respect
Spielberg
the
is
decision.
is like maybe the master of the blockbuster film. So I'm not going to question anything he says. Let's totally. I mean, the only thing I can think of that I didn't love from Steven Spielberg was AI.
What that you didn't love? From
Didn't
Steve?
love.
Okay. Yeah.
Like even I went back and watched Jurassic Park 2. It's actually a pretty solid movie. When's the last time you saw it?
I've never
Wasn't
seen
that
Jurassic
long
Park
ago.
2. I've
It
seen
wasn't real
one
long ago. It was a year or
dozen,
two.
literally dozens of times.
Right,
I've
of
never
course.
seen the second one.
It's
worth a
not
watch?
bad. Yeah.
I really don't like who's the lady actress that's in it? What's his name?
It's
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore.
I hate
yeah.
her too. Like I
Really?
just
Oh,
yeah,
don't
Julianne
like
Moore.
her. I just
love her.
fucking hate her. I don't know why. She was in like 2 movies that were exactly the same. where,
No,
like her
she
kid
was
gets
in,
lost, right?
Wait, what?
They came out in like
She
sometime
was
in
in
the
the porn
2000s.
movie.
Well,
Yeah,
she was
she's in
Boogie
the
Nights.
porn
Yeah.
movie.
Boogie
I
Nights.
just
She was,
don't
she was
fucking
good
like
in
her.
Boogie Nights.
Well,
And I don't
she's in the Big Lebowski. She's great as Maud in the Big Lebowski.
Fuck her. I don't like her.
Oh, come on! When she
just
says
don't.
even the word itself makes
So
some men
Julianne
uncomfortable.
Moore is
Vagina.
your Greg.
It's my
Scarlett
Greg
Johansson.
misogynist, whatever. Yeah. I don't like her either. Fuck. Yeah, get in on some of this would be great.
Man, it's not. I'd take
Right,
Julianne.
man.
I'd take Julianne Moore over all those Michelle Rodriguez's of the world. You know.
I just don't like her, man.
I think no, I like Julianne Moore. But anyway,
too.
Jurassic Park 2. First of all, once you watch Jurassic Park 3, then you're like, man, Jurassic Park 2 was not that bad. Kind of like how if you watch the newest the Michael Bay Turtles movie, and you're like, actually, Turtles 3 is not that bad either.
Just
You know, it's fun.
Michael Bay ruins everything I love about my childhood.
I'll say-
Michael Bay can.
Yeah. Well,
We've insulted
Yeah.
him several times on the podcast.
Mike, if you're listening, once again, fuck you.
Dude, go fuck yourself.
Just go fuck yourself. Go take all your money, shove it in your ass, and die.
if you disagree with us, Michael Bay, you can come in here and defend yourself in person. I dare you.
Yeah.
Your absence tells us that you concur.
We'll put Michael Bay on the list of people who we do challenge to a boxing match.
Yeah.
I think that list is growing rapidly.
Longer and longer.
Well, we've got who's on the list so far? It's Michael Bay.
Michael
and-
Bay.
Was
Dan-
Kanye?
Kanye.
Kanye West, although we're not supposed
Oh
to.
no,
say
it
his
was Chris
name.
Brown was one of them.
Chris Brown.
Dan challenged Chris Brown.
At one point, Don Julie.
Oh no, I
Chris Brown.
challenged
Chris Brown can throw a punch, though.
M Night Shyamalan.
Oh, and Mike Shyamalan. Yeah, because he.
Yeah.
Because of the art of the free. Are you afraid of the dark? thing.
Did you hear what he said?
I did not. I'm sorry.
I said Chris Brown can throw a punch, though.
Oh, God damn it.
Jesus.
I'll challenge Scarlett Johansson to a boxing match. Because what am I going to fight? Her stunt double? No.
Oh, okay. I don't know, man. She might show up and beat your ass.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that.
No,
She
dude.
might kick your ass.
No. What's she going to look at me mean? Is that because that's that's about all I've got to be worried about.
I don't know.
I kind of like her actually.
I do like her. I love her in Lost in Translation.
I
mean,
said that
that's-
before. That was actually my favorite.
When I watch that
movie.
movie, I'm like, I love that actress. I don't
Her
know
and
who
Bill
she
Murray.
is, but holy shit.
Just have a great, almost non-chemistry, and then
Oh,
it
yeah.
evolves.
How about I've got so many criticisms about this moron that calls herself Scarlett Johansson, and what do you guys do? You don't defend the things that I'm criticizing. You defend the one thing that I don't mind from her. But it's she sucks in everything else.
She
It's-
was great
No,
in
did
Home
you see?
Alone
Did
3.
you see? Did you see Match Point?
I did not see
Yeah.
Match
Or
Oh,
Vicky Cristina Barcelona?
Man, this happens every time. Whenever I say that, I see a trend, I see a pattern where this person sucks because I've got this much evidence, and here it is like Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't like this guy, and it's like people are like, did you see? Oh, well, did you see him in What's Eating Gilbert Grape? And I'm like, yeah, okay, that also was early in his career, much like Lost in Translation. Oh, well, did you see him in Inception? Yeah, I like that movie despite him. Like, oh, well, did you just see him in The Departed? Yes, I did, but it doesn't change anything. He sucked in that too.
You did not suck in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
I didn't say, nor did Scarlett Johansson suck in Lost in Translation,
If you
but
are
that
a
was
young
so early
actor,
on.
teenage actor playing a person with a mental disability, that's a huge.
Now, okay, well, the one
Difficulty.
we're really missing a big portion of Leo's career, and on that, of course, I mean growing pains. I take offense that you did not mention that, Greg, because that's a big. Him as the cousin Oliver brought in
Yeah,
the last season.
You're talking about a TV
Growing
show.
pains, yeah.
Yeah.
TV show with a guy named Boner on it.
Yeah. That was my first exposure to Leo, was Growing Pains. Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of cousin Oliver, Cousin Oliver is Michelangelo.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Robbie Rist is the voice of the original voice of Michelangelo.
So you've
I didn't
got you got cousin Oliver, and then who's Donnie is
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman,
Yeah.
and then Leo is
Leo
Mike
is-
Sinter Nicholas, who's on the Venture Brothers.
No, the original Leo is when the movie is Brian Tochi, who is
Right.
in Revenge of the Nerds. He's Takashi.
Takashi, yeah.
And then
By the way, excellent movie.
oh, of course.
Monkey hasn't seen it. It's on the list. I love that movie.
Speaking of voices, and only since we've mentioned a couple of it was whenever Jared first saw. I already mentioned Akira, but whenever Jared first saw Akira, it was over here a few weeks ago, and Jared walked in, and I said, like, "Oh, you recognize this voice?" And it was, I don't remember his alternate name.
Cam
but-
Clark.
Kevin Clark.
Cam Clark.
Cam Clark. Okay.
The cartoon version of
Okay,
Leo.
and I didn't know that that name, but I know him as either James Flinders or Jimmy Flinders. That's the voice of Kaneda in Akira, as well as Leonardo in the cartoon Turtles. Yeah, and if you've ever played Metal Gear Solid, Liquid Snake,
Really?
Yes.
Wait. All the Metal Gear, even the most recent one.
I only have ever played like the first 1.5 of those. Like I only ever played like Metal Gear Solid and like part of Metal Gear Solid 2. So
Yeah.
I don't know how many.
Because the most recent one you get to, well, anyway.
I would imagine it's probably the same voice.
It's probably the same guy. They
Splinter.
keep up consistency in that.
Yeah, out of time. Yeah.
My only really random thing about a video game is that, and I remind this because of Jared, actually, because during your trivia, you say in the middle, let's go to Mo. Mo.
Yes.
Mo, or Maura Quirk.
Yes. I've met her
She
before.
voices several people in Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Well, she has a great voice.
She does.
She's a stand-up comedian now.
Yeah, she's the head of the Nightingale, so there you go, people.
No, Mo's actually really cool. She did stand up at Duquesne one time.
Really?
And, yeah, she was funny. But she there's like, you know, she said that after she was done, she went to the back of the room to like sign autographs and take pictures with people. And so I go up to her, and this is when I had like the flip phone with you could still take videos on it though. So I'm like, Mo, here's what we're gonna do. I was like, you know, so can you do this? Can you do this for us? And she's like, oh yeah, absolutely. So it's us like around Mo. It's like me and Jeff Potts and
Yeah.
I think Ben Hart.
Hartenstein?
No. I forget. So
She
a couple
speaks the
people.
Queen's English, too. It's
She
very
does.
proper.
So anyway, in this video, it goes. She starts out. She goes, "Guys, I have a question for you." And I'm like, "What is it, Mo?" And she goes, "Do you have it?" And we go, "Guts!" It's the best video ever.
It's the best video ever.
Blue has been disqualified from the aggro crag.
Well, and she I'd never thought about this, but she during her stand-up routine, she never allowed them to shoot her from the waist down.
Why?
Because she has a humongous butt. like
Damn.
Yeah, and she brought that up. She was like, "Yeah, as you can see, my butt is pretty big, so I never allowed them to shoot." And I guess like sometimes she would just be like in like yoga pants or whatever. Like she could you never see her from the waist down. It's really funny. I never really noticed during the show.
Well, no, Anaconda once got, doesn't want to know unless she got buns, hun.
That was so incredibly white because even white people know all the lyrics.
My
to that
name
song.
is in the first sentence of the song, Jerry. Do you know how many jokes?
That's the most prominent
Oh my
lyric in the
God,
song. Like
Becky.
the whole arrangement goes into stop and don't want none unless you got
buns,
none.
hun.
It's
You can do side bends on sit up.
Yeah, but please don't do that. Yeah.
Okay, that's enough for me. I guess that was my what she
Well,
was doing.
actually, that kind of relates into one of the things that I was going to talk about and what I'm doing is that for all of you out there who are making jokes about Becky with the good hair, shut the fuck up. You're not funny. I've received quite literally a dozen texts about it. I don't give a shit. Just stop. It's a publicity ploy by Beyonce and Jay. Just stop.
Probably, yeah. I not only do I just not give a fuck about that at all. And actually, there's some people who listen to this that go to some of my trivia shows, and just don't. Please, no more no more Trump names, team names. No more Becky with the good hair trivia. Like, just stop that shit, please. Like, it's enough.
My least favorite is my couch pulls out. But I don't.
There's a bunch of those.
That's the worst.
Oh, no. There's that one. There's my couch pulls out, but I don't. There's I wish this microphone was a penis because I just want to hear the person say that, which is fucking stupid. Team Ramrod.
That second
Like-
movie actually, they released a poster for that, but just
Well, yeah.
just as an aside.
Well, it's like-
but yeah, but it's played out. It's been
That's
for
so. It's like oh,
seven-
so you're a
17
person
years.
who's still like so. Super Troopers is still like on the front of your brain.
Which says a lot about
That's
their
a good one.
personality.
Yeah, like you still think about Super Troopers a lot. Like okay, I see what kind of person you are. What else? There's a couple other ones that are really shitty.
No, I
Team
agree.
Awesome,
I
for some
told you I
reason.
was on the reason why I met you is because I used to be on a national trivia team, and we hated it so much that one of our guys went to one of your trivia shows by himself and said, "This guy Jared, he's the best. He's really funny, and trivia finally doesn't suck, guys." So we started going to your show, and that's how I met you.
Yeah. Well, shout out to that person. I'm not sure.
That's Nick Michelia.
Okay.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for coming to trivia.
Yeah. But I did want to tell. I was talking to you guys about this before. How I know I spend too much time in hospitals when I go there to support someone else. Meaning, I went there for my father a couple of days ago, and 2 of the ER staff at East say, comment on our podcast. Hey Becky, I've been listening. So I heard the Batman versus. Oh yeah. So hi to Chris because he listens to our podcast and he really likes comic books and he's a super cool dude. So.
Oh, also hi to Chris Gamrat, my buddy from high school. We were on the rifle team together, and I forgot to whenever we were addressing his question last time, I forgot to say his name. So hey, Chris, thanks for listening. Haven't seen you in a while, man. Hope you're doing cool.
The only other thing is that I enjoyed Free Comic Book Day.
Oh, yeah, that was
lots
cool.
of great stuff that came out. I mean, they introduced kind of a new series of Captain America.
Yeah.
This year's Bongo, which is the Simpsons comic book, was just completely impressed at how much fresh material they continue to churn out.
Those
After
guys
what,
are-
35 years?
It's crazy.
How many years is it?
I don't know. It's a long time.
It's insane. The Serenity comic, which is about the show Firefly, also very good.
Yeah, I haven't read any of them yet.
so
but
many of them
I
are
haven't- They're all
excellent.
waiting for me at the shop.
Archie, the new Archie's great.
Oh, the new Archie's amazing.
I love the new Archie.
Archie's fucking
Have
great.
you guys talked about that yet?
No, we should though. I think there's 6 or 7 issues out, something like that. But it's
Yeah.
new Archie's awesome. It's
Yeah.
it's funny.
So Free Comic Book Day was great. I got as many titles as I could get
and
legally.
shout out to the winner of the Free Comic Book Day
Oh, that's right.
contest, Brad.
He won Vision #1.
He won
right?
Vision. Yeah, one of my personal I have a couple of copies, but he won my personal copy of the Vision #1. I went on Instagram. And I took a picture of the comic book. And I said, I'm going to be down at the shop from until like this time. If you come down and you say, "We are all humans," which is the passphrase. I'll if you're the first person to do it, then I'll give you the this copy of the. So there's a picture on Instagram of me and Brad with the comic book. So Brad, thanks for checking out the Instagram and for coming down. And he also cooks at OTB.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and all
That
their
peanut
stuff's
butter
really
burger is
delicious.
Amazing.
Yeah. So Brad's a good cook too. So go eat his food.
Cool.
But J-Man, you're done?
Well, I just
Yeah?
wanted to make a grown-up human comic book people news about the Comic Cons.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So at least half of us will be at the very first Three Rivers Comic Con, which will be in West Mifflin, May 21st through 22nd. Maybe we'll have some kind of contest to find us. We are not being featured there, but we will be attending.
Yeah.
We have three-day passes. You could probably find Jared, Daniel, and myself, maybe a few others. Well, if we do anything, we'll post it on Instagram or some other social media, Facebook.
Yeah, but come down and check us out.
Right.
We'll be more than happy to sign autographs and take pictures with people, and maybe
Yeah.
we'll
Oh,
have
God, yeah.
we'll have the we should get some more shirts too.
We should.
We'll
yeah.
get a second run of shirts, maybe red or purple or orange. We'll see.
And the only
We can
the
get
other
I'll get all of them if we want to.
the only other news is that we will have our own booth at Steel City Con,
Yeah.
which is in August.
That's always fun.
Yeah, so this is pretty early to talk about, but just so you know, we will have a vendor's booth, so we'll be in the main area. You can come look for us, and we will give more announcements about that as the date approaches.
Yeah.
Steel City Con's August
That's
12th
in-
through the 14th.
I believe so, and it's in Monroeville.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd's gonna be there.
He is
Oh,
going
yeah?
to be there.
Oh man.
They keep rolling out. I mean, every day they roll out new, stars and artists. So, but this one
was-
actually looks pretty good.
Last one was cool. I got to meet Kristana Loken and Tony Todd. Tony Todd was real cool. Tony, for listening. Hi, man. It was good to meet you and good to talk to you. Did I mention this last time? I did tell a story about taking a picture with him. It was great.
I think you did.
Did I?
I think you were talking about.
I think I did. Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah, whatever. Anyway,
But that's all I got. I just wanted to give those pieces of news.
cool. Jer?
Did you guys see Creed? Did anybody see Creed?
I didn't see it yet.
God damn, like everybody was like, "Oh, it's good." It wasn't good at all.
Really?
No.
You don't like
it
it?
was like it was exactly like the last one.
Yeah, I
It
didn't see
was
the last
like,
one either.
Well, that was better than 5. I don't, that doesn't say much. Mm-hmm. Rocky was really good. The dude that Creed's son, he sucked. He was terrible.
Well, that's the same dude who plays Human Torch in the new Fantastic Four
And he
movie.
sucks like
which-
shit in that
Which
too.
Fantastic Four movie?
And
The newest one.
Yeah.
This shitty one.
and really, 6 might have been better than 5, but Creed kind of looked like it might be harkening back to 5.
Well, I mean, he's training somebody
I
else.
guess it
yeah.
is kind of the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty similar.
Yeah.
Scott, yeah, I was actually
Plus, like the final fight, like it wasn't a heavyweight
with
fight.
arms wide open, Trevor.
Yeah.
The dude's not a heavyweight. He's pretty small.
Yeah.
It was like a light heavyweight fight, which just kind of goes against.
Yeah. Although, if you're talking about actual boxing, sometimes those fights are way more fun to watch.
I guess
Because
so.
those guys aren't like.
The guy he fought, I think, is a real boxer, but
Yeah.
god damn, he had like a dad body on him. He was real out of shape looking. God damn.
Well, there's man back in the day. Like, remember when boxing was like real big in the '90s? When you had like boxing video games and shit.
Yeah.
A couple of those guys were dumpy looking.
Glass Joe.
Yeah.
Super Mario Punch Out. I mean, if you count that.
I'm thinking of fuck this. Andrew Galata was like him. Oh, okay. Him, Riddick Bowe also. Like those two guys were like kind of like they were heavyweights, but they were like kind of like real dumpy looking,
Yeah.
just big guys. And I was in New York. I wasn't at the match, but we were right down the street from Madison Square Garden where the match was. And Riddick Bowe hit Andrew Galata so many times in the dick that it caused a riot.
I thought
There
that
was-
was illegal.
No, it is. So they had to stop the fight. Like it was upwards of like I'd say like 7 or 8 times,
Oh,
like
man.
low blows. And so like everyone on the whole place like started fucking rioting. And by the end of it, I think I'm not sure if the fight actually finished, but like at the end of it, it was just people like throwing chairs and like
Yeah.
just the police. We were right down the street, so we saw like police cars headed towards that.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. But man, boxing used to be awesome.
how I was just thinking like how powerful that punch to the dick is that
Exactly.
it causes riots outside. It's like literally that is not an empty threat. I'm gonna punch you so hard in the dick that your kids are gonna
It's gonna cause a fucking riot.
yeah. He means it. He means it. He's not bluffing.
He's done it
Talk
before.
shot heard around the world. Yeah. Holy shit.
That actually reminds me that was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I was coming back from West Mifflin and I stopped by the mall to grab something. I forget what it was, but I was at it's my phone's been acting up, so I went to the Verizon store. Anyway, I was leaving the mall. I heard all this like all kinds of commotion, and it's
Was
a
Donnie
three-
Iris there?
Oh.
They
Like
would've-
that Donnie Iris, he's real popular.
No, they would have been grilling out in the halls if that had been the case. But no, I was hearing like cheers, and I'm like, is that are they showing a baseball game? Nobody cheers like that for baseball, And I went up to it was on the one end of the mall that was like kind of empty, and I still was looking around, and I saw these like flashing lights from up on the 3rd floor, which that mall is of course one of the few that has the 3rd floor.
Yeah, there's nothing up there.
Yeah,
there's
nothing.
That's right, or so I thought, because as I said, and I'm pulling up, I had to take a few pictures, otherwise nobody would believe me. There was a wrestling match
What?
on the 3rd story of the Century 3 Mall
Oh man.
yesterday.
I love that.
Oh, I
amazing.
like that too.
So this was
Wait,
Century
this was
3.
yesterday?
this was yesterday.
Why didn't
Century
why, First of all, Greg, why didn't I get a text from you?
Yeah,
about
me
this?
either. You know I like wrestling.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm
Damn it,
I'm a
Greg.
bad person, but I'm bringing it up now. Thank God I'm able to talk about it now. Yeah, this was there was a sign. There was like one derpy little sign to scroll left there.
Yeah, okay.
There was one little sign there in the back that said Code Red Wrestling. It's just like amateur wrestling. It's
Oh, there's a guy on a ladder.
yeah, they're doing like
nice.
props and stunts and stuff. But they had 2 ladders. They had one ladder kind of like braced between the ropes and another ladder, and
Wow.
and like they said like it was tag team wrestling too. Like there were 2, 3, or 4 guys on the mat at once, and yeah, like the most impressive stunt that I saw, they had the belt was hanging from I guess the belt was hanging from the ceiling, like from like the panels in the ceiling.
Oh, it
were
was a
taken
ladder
away.
match. So they had to get the belt
Yeah.
like that. Like, to win the match, you have to get the belt.
It's like the
Okay.
money in the box in
Right.
WWE. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Money
so
in
that
the
was
bank,
the
rather.
gist of it. So the reason the ladders were that was the reason the ladders were on stage. Stage. Listen to me. The mat. Wrestling is real, by the way. I'm not. I don't want to dissuade you all from believing that illusion. But so they had again, like they had the ladder propped up, and the guy who had just been seemingly defeated was propped on the ladder, and his opponent like crawled up onto the on the other ladder, and he was about to jump down on. As he jumped onto the guy on the ladder, the guy rolled off, and then of course his assailant crashed the ladder and it was all these big exaggerated moves. It was great.
Oh yeah.
Do you know the funny thing? Well, no, it's not funny. It's great. Do you know what Code Red Wrestling benefits? All their funds go to animal rescue.
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Did you
Yeah.
just look up now? Or?
No, actually, I have a lot of friends. In fact, the guy that introduced, my trivia team, they are huge wrestling fans. In fact, I remember one time when we tried to get Jared to come watch WrestleMania with
Oh
us.
yeah, I was busy or something.
They go to almost every Code Red match, but I remember every single one of them benefits something, and it's almost always the Animal Rescue League. And in fact, I think specifically White Oak.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Great. I'm glad that I came across it.
In White Oak, they do wrestling matches out there a lot at that whatever that fitness or not the recreation center. I actually went to one of them. I'm not sure if it was Code Red though.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So.
Going to it was kind of fun because it was like it was. Yeah, Jason was there.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It was fun because it was just like kind of shitty, but like those guys were like really into it, and some of the fans are really into it too. Like it's like such a shitty little thing to go and watch. Yeah, people were tailgating out in the parking lot and shit, but it was fun. It would have been a lot more fun if I was more drunk, but yeah, I'd go again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be fun if you like went with a big group of people and you're all like ready to party and like having a good time. Yeah, but it was definitely interesting.
Is it sponsored by Mountain Dew?
That I don't know.
If they're not, they're fucking up.
Mountain Dew Code Red.
Yeah, I don't know
All
why
I
they
know is
wouldn't.
that they do a lot for charity. And you know what? I mean, I don't know how many people are wrestling fans, but WWE does just so much charity. When I used to work for a law firm, just, all of those wrestlers do so much for like Make-A-Wish and any charity you can think of.
And usually when they go out to like cons and stuff, those guys are pretty cool.
They are super cool.
Virgil's pretty cool.
Oh, Virgil's. They've actually made a comic about Virgil being the loneliest person because no one visits his booth.
Well, no, like Lonely Virgil is a thing
Lonely
that we
Virgil,
have experienced.
yeah. I got a Virgil story because it wasn't 2 years ago he was at Steel City Con.
Yeah, he's there like every other time.
Yes, exactly. And he was like, "Hey, could you help me put up my banner?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I texted my friends because they're all WWE fans, and I said, "Hey guys, I just helped Virgil put up his banner," and they're like, and then of course every single one of them simultaneously texted me Lonely Virgil memes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's a very nice guy. Virgil, you're a cool dude.
He's super nice. We were at the con one time and we were walking past and I think one of us probably just looked over at him. He was like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" And we're like, "Hey, man, how you doing?" And like I didn't immediately recognize him. It's just like saw he had like Virgil action figures and like pictures of him. I was like, "Oh shit, this is Virgil. That's cool." I guess he lives in the South Hills.
He does. Yeah. He's
So yeah, he was just it was almost like he called us over to talk to him. We're like, "Hey, man, like good to meet you." He was really nice.
What's his name was there too?
$1 Million Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a
But they
few, like
didn't-
one or two
they didn't
wrestlers.
They weren't even they weren't near each
They
other.
were near each other.
That's coming
Yeah,
this
like the
time.
$6 million or not $6 million. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase was over in like the celebrity room, and Virgil had like a vendor's booth in the
Yeah.
other room. I kind of felt bad for him, but he was super nice and like yeah. If you go out there to the Steel City Con or any other con, you see Virgil, go fucking say hi to him, talk to him for a little while. Virgil's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so is Finn Balor. I just want to say that really quick.
I don't know who that is.
He's an NXT wrestler who's come up to the WWE, and he's Irish, and he's based his entire character on his love of comic books.
Oh.
That's the only reason why I mention it. He has a badass theme song. Go check him out. Finn Balor. Okay.
All right. Is it?
That's it.
We're done. We're done. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're done.
All right.
But did you do what Shin's doing? Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's-
yeah.
yeah.
Agreed,
It's
yeah.
it spiraled off into all sorts of things.
Which is what Shin's doing always
That's
happens.
the whole point.
I aim for that.
People have said that's one of the things I enjoy about this is that we just completely go off on tangents that don't make any sense. So
I found that they love our tangents more than the actual content.
yeah,
Especially the Dan Don Geely rants. We miss you.
yeah. Come back to us safe, guys.
Gillison.
Next, I wrote down Deadpool just because
Oh, Deadpool.
we just watched. Greg just saw it for the first time,
I
and Jared
did.
watched it for the second time. Becky's
I
seen
watched it for like the 8th time.
a bunch of times. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
it's fantastic.
I mean, fans have been calling for Ryan Reynolds Deadpool
Yeah,
for the past, decade? And they even made a joke about it. Like Deadpool, the character says it's Ryan Reynolds, mixed with a Shar-Pei or something like that.
yeah. Oh, there are a bunch of Ryan Reynolds references in that movie.
Indeed.
His name is on the in the Deadpool board.
Oh, and he's on Sexiest Man Alive, and one of the people.
No, that was Hugh Jackman.
No, there was a second one. They did it
Oh,
twice.
another one.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, there was. Oh, and then he says, what is it? He says something like, "Oh yeah, worse thing. No, there's worse things. I think there's worse things than cancer." And then it shows. No, it's when he gets like hit by Colossus, punches him away, and like he's sideways, and then he says like, "Well, it could be worse," and then it morphs into a Deadpool action figure from the Wolverine movie.
There's so many Wolverine / Hugh Jackman nods.
Which is great because in the comic books, like Deadpool is completely obsessed with Wolverine
Right,
because
right.
that's kind of how he got his powers.
At the very beginning, he says, "Whose balls do I have to suck?" It rhymes with Shmoo Schmackman or something. Oh no, Wolverine or something like that.
Wolverine, I think he said.
Yeah.
Wolverine, yeah. But then he wears a Wolverine, Hugh Jackman specifically mask
Underneath his mask.
underneath his mask when he reveals it to his girlfriend later. So
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a cutout from like as he's gearing up for that final battle. He's throwing a bunch of stuff in his duffel bag, and one of them is that
the
Sexiest Man.
magazine, yeah.
Yes.
So that's presumably that's where he got the mask is the cutout from that magazine, which
Yeah.
is pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things in that movie that are great.
it's great. I love every fourth wall reference.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that it's the X Mansion, the Xavier Mansion.
Yeah.
And there's only two people there.
Yeah.
Colossus and what's a Warhead? Teenage Warhead. What's her name? I forget.
Negasonic
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Thank you, Megasonic Teenage Warhead. And he's like, you'd think they'd be able to afford more than 2 X-Men. And then later he's like, we're going to take you to the professor. And he's like, which one? McAvoy or Stewart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the timelines crossed.
Yeah.
What I want to see, and they said that it's possible that he could appear in some of the X-Men movies, which would be amazing.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
for that for Apocalypse. Just even a cameo.
I don't think he'll be in that, but I think he might be in the next one. Cool, because the next one, because First Class was the '60s or '70s,
60s and 70s, which they were
Yeah.
kids in the 60s. So.
and then this one is the '80s, and then the next one they're saying will be '90s X-Men, which we might actually get, the team, like the one that everybody
Grownup
fucking
team,
wants,
yeah.
like the thing we've been wanting since the first X-Men movie came out. Like,
Yeah.
if you're at Fox, is Fox? It's Fox, right?
Yeah.
If you're at Fox, everybody fucking wants the '90s X-Men. Just
Yes.
do it. Just fucking
What we
do
grew
that.
up with, fucking make it happen.
I like every time an X-Men '92 book comes out, I buy that shit because that's the X-Men that everybody knows.
Gambit.
Yes,
Gambit's
everybody
gotta be in
goddamn
there.
knows the '90s X-Men.
All
Quit
the-
fucking around.
All the exposed cleavage and thighs.
Oh yeah. Just
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous, like shittily drawn feet and pouches, and just guns that don't even make any sense. There's like a bunch of random shit and knobs on them.
levers and stuff.
Yeah. Just extreme things on the X-Men. Man, '90s X-Men is the best.
But I love Deadpool. And
And hopefully we'll get some Deadpool in the X-Men movies.
yes.
Yeah, my first impression, like whenever I heard they were doing a Deadpool movie, Deadpool's of course not one of the famous characters outside of the people who are in the know and know the not in the know, but like
No, you're right. You're absolutely. In fact, it's so crazy to me. Like the other day, I was setting up for work, and I saw on the TV there was like Deadpool was on. It wasn't even for the movie; it was for something else. And I'm like, the 10-year-old in me is sitting there like, Deadpool is on TV. What the fuck is going on? Like, Deadpool used
Yeah.
to be like a second-rate, just
Yeah.
shitty, whatever, like throwaway character.
He was kind of a joke character.
Yeah, like if you told 10-year-old me that Deadpool was going to be like regular, like my parents would know. If I said Deadpool, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that you have a general idea what I was talking about." I'd be like, "No, fuck off, that's ridiculous."
Yeah.
And furthermore, that was one, like there were a lot of things that I did not like about the more that I didn't like about the Wolverine Origins movie, X-Men Origins Wolverine movie than what I did like. One of them was Deadpool. I thought it was annoying. There wasn't very much. I mean, of course, the character's supposed to be annoying, but there's
Well, at the
got to be
beginning,
like
he's good.
yeah, he's fine. It's I mean like the movie sucks anyway. But
Well, it does.
like even the cheese factor of there's I guess the good doesn't outweigh the bad. Like whenever they have something that's bad in there, you'd hope that it has some good coming with it, and then that one just doesn't. I guess before I move, what were we gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, the Wolverine Origins movie. If you stop the movie right after the helicopter crash, it's fine. Like once he gets the adamantium, and then they kill those old people in the barn, and then they chase him with the helicopter, and he kills Agent Zero or whatever it is.
Right.
If you stop it there, That movie's actually pretty cool. Like because you get like his whole the him going through all those wars. You get him versus Sabretooth. You get
That's true.
You get the adamantium stuff. You get Wade Wilson before he's Deadpool, like the way he's supposed to be, and then you stop it there. That movie's totally watchable and fun, like cool. But then once it gets to that helicopter crash, like totally off the rails. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Like the rest of that sucks. Up until then, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. It's true. I didn't even just as you were like listing through all those things. I thought, you know what, maybe was that movie better than I remember? No, it's
No.
yeah.
No, the beginning is better than you remember. The end just totally ruins it.
Yeah, and
It's
so
awful.
Like, seeing Deadpool end up the way that he did in that movie, I'm glad they just ignored it, which is cool in this type. But and I found it surprising whenever I first heard before talking to you guys. Whenever I heard that they were making a Deadpool movie, I thought, what reaction did they think they were getting from that movie, from that character? Like, oh, this movie was so good, we're going to take a minor character from that movie and create a spin-off of that, just because the public can't get enough.
Well, I think what actually happened was that people saw Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson in the beginning of that movie, and they were like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, Deadpool does have a lot of fans because he's a really interesting character. He's way different than a lot of other characters.
He breaks the fourth wall and he's incredibly sarcastic.
Yeah, and the people who are fans of Deadpool were like, you started off so well and then you turned into shit. So, and Ryan Reynolds apparently is like a huge Deadpool fan.
Yeah.
So it was actually him pushing for the movie like this whole time. He's like been trying to get that movie made for years and years, like right out. Actually, since that movie, the Wolverine movie came out, he's been trying to get a Deadpool movie made, and he did. And like true to form, Deadpool because Deadpool's a fourth wall breaking character. That's probably the only reason why they can do this is because they can just they literally in the movie made fun of they fucked it up the first time.
Oh, they made fun of him playing Green Lantern.
Yeah, that too.
That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Because everyone hated that movie.
Oh yeah. So
I love Ryan Reynolds, and I hated Green Lantern. So.
Yeah, it was. Well, he shouldn't have been Green Lantern.
Well, that was a horrible miscast.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
It should have been Nathan Fillion.
See, once again, this is
Wow. Yeah.
that's funny. My thoughts halfway out. That's legitimate, but I was going to say that that's I guess it is another notch on the belt for Marvel, because Marvel even acknowledges their mistakes in the way that DC doesn't, because Ben Affleck was like in a terrible Daredevil movie, and if they had found a way to acknowledge that in Batman Superman, so it's just like throw in some humor in there, but no, they're too insecure to even acknowledge their own shortcomings.
Yeah, on that same note. If another person tells me that they liked Batman Superman and they didn't like Civil War, I'm going to punch that person in the fucking face.
Yeah, well, they have it coming.
That's a matter of just being like, I like DC stuff and I don't like Marvel stuff, and I'm not going to give this other thing a chance, and I'm just going to like whatever they put out. Like, fuck you. That's ridiculous. Because you can like more than one thing. Like, you don't have to pick a fucking side.
Yeah.
Like, I like Batman and I like Captain America. I don't need to pick one or the other. I'll go see both those movies. Whatever. I'm not so tight on cash that I can only go see one goddamn movie. But I'm really tired of people being like, oh, I went down to that other comic book shop and I think I mentioned this last time, like had a conversation. Well, I shouldn't say a conversation. This dude talked at me about how Batman Superman was great and how the Marvel movies suck for a little while.
I
And
think I know
left.
who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, we mentioned this last time. I'm not going to do it again. But anyway.
So yeah, we at least know what's up with Deadpool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deadpool's
Deadpool's
cool.
great. If you haven't seen it yet, I mean, it's online streaming and in DVD and Blu-ray form. Go get it.
Yeah. And we
worth it.
so two of us actually didn't get to see Captain America yet. One reason being, and if you work in a movie theater, if you manage a movie theater, why the fuck aren't there are no late show times anymore? Like the last ones are at like 11 at the
11:45
latest.
or on the weekend.
Yeah, on the weekend. Like, what the fuck is going on? There used to be like 12:30 shows. Quit being fucking lazy. Like, we were fully willing to pay money to go see a movie, and we haven't been able to see. Well, some of us haven't been able to see it yet for that reason. So that's kind of annoying. Movie theater people, stop doing that.
Yeah.
We
You
can
don't want
talk
people-
about it next
You don't want
time,
people
maybe.
downloading and streaming your shit?
Yeah.
Well, fucking
Maybe you should
straighten up.
add another showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually tried to stream Captain America too. Well, the only reason why we didn't because we hadn't seen the second one.
Right.
But yeah, we're getting there. You can forget about our $10 or $16, whatever it is, if you don't shape your shit up. All right. Well, Wicked and Divine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I could do Wicked and the Divine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to sum it up, Becky?
Big fan of Wicked and the Divine.
This is a comic book, by the way, if you haven't been paying attention.
It's a recent comic. It's out of Image, and it's about the Pantheon, but not the Pantheon that you're familiar with if you knew Greek mythology. It's a group of, I think, 12 gods, demons / supernatural beings that get reincarnated into random humans every, I want to say, 100 years or so. And in this first trade, we meet 3 of them. And one of them is Athena, but she's mentioned but not met. Another one is Sekhmet, who looks like Rihanna, almost she is Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does
An
look,
Egyptian, a nod to an Egyptian god. Lucifer, as you all know, is modernly Satan, and one called Amaterasu, who I'm not familiar with.
Amaterasu.
Amaterasu.
I know. When I read that, I know.
Is that like
I knew the name.
Babylonian or something like
I
that?
forget.
Yeah, I mean, I could
Dan
have
was here.
Googled
He
it.
probably know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sekhmet is Egyptian, a cat god. And but anyway, there's a fan named Laura who is British. And these gods come and they're basically pop stars. And she goes to see them and just gets blown away. In fact, some people, normal humans, pass out at the sight of them. And
Or
then,
they come.
Yes. It depends on the god. I don't want to get out of ourselves.
That was my favorite scene in that, by the way.
Right.
It's just like the montage of everyone's reactions to this girl just standing there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you should, oh God, I can't wait until you guys, we should really discuss further issues because just every god and or demon or supernatural being in the Pantheon has a different reaction on people and it's wonderful. And in fact, I dare say that these 3 are the most boring.
Wow.
But anyway, Laura goes to see Amaterasu.
Amaterasu.
I'm sorry. In concert, she passes out, and then later goes to see Lucifer's court case.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay. Lucifer's been accused of, I think justly so, killing a few people with the snap of her fingers.
Yes.
And during the court case, snaps her fingers, and at the same time, people died. But it was not her.
Right.
And she looks very shocked.
It's a frame up.
It's a frame. And
a frame job.
Laura kind of sees how shocked she looks and knows that it's not her. And that's kind of how this issue ends. And, it leaves you hanging. You want to meet the other gods and or demons or supernatural beings. And, I've read the first 3 trades, and it's a great series.
Firstly, Amaterasu is Japanese.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's what somebody the reporter mentions that to when she's interviewing Amaterasu and says like, you as a person from Britain, as a white person from Britain, saying that you're a Japanese, like a Shinto god, is at best like a problematic and at worst offensive.
Right, yeah. And the reporter, who is actually a reoccurring character, I don't know how far you guys have read.
We've literally.
Okay.
That's it.
She's a skeptic.
Okay.
And it's ironic. I'll just put that out there.
Yeah.
But Laura is just obsessed.
Yeah.
This young British London teenage girl is just obsessed with the gods.
It's a cool idea for I like even if this is the first issue, it's a cool world that they've kind of built where there's obviously people who are skeptics who are like, yeah, this is stupid. These people aren't gods. That's ridiculous.
Right.
And then, some of them obviously having powers because Lucifer
Kills people. Yeah.
2 people. Yeah.
And I also like that they draw gods and supernatural beings from every culture, whether it's Asiatic or South American, Greek,
Is
North American.
Asiatic a word?
Yeah.
Really? Just Asian.
It's anthropologically speaking
I see.
correct.
Okay.
Damn.
So
Is
Japanese.
Is
Okay,
anthropologically a word?
yes, it is.
I'm sorry. That was my dumb
Sorry.
humor.
I didn't study all those years for nothing. But no, the fact that they draw from numerous cultures, not just European.
Right.
And the fact that the Pantheon is traditionally Greco-Roman.
Yeah.
No, it's a great series. Keep reading.
Is this ongoing?
It is still going, yes. There are currently 3 trades out, and it is still going. I think the 4th is about to come out.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I like the first one. I'm gonna definitely keep reading.
yes, it gets better.
Yeah.
So, and I know that Gillen, I forget his first name, he's the writer. The whole idea for this book was his father getting cancer and dealing with life and death. And when his dad was on the line and then was brought back to life by some chemo or something, was the inspiration for this book. And it's interesting that The Wicked and the Vine is what resulted
Right.
from that.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
It's, yeah. I personally liked it. What do you guys?
Yeah, I think I liked it. It's hard to say at this point. It's still early on.
Yeah.
I was confused about so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will continue to be confused.
Yeah.
Same here. I think it was like halfway through the book. For the first half of the first issue, I was still not entirely certain that I knew what was going on, and until I was putting it together at that point, because the references is there, and it's not that that's not a complaint. I like that I like when I don't feel like I'm being talked to or
Spoon-fed-
pandered to. Yeah,
spoon-fed the
yeah. Where I can look back on, I guess, like if the first issue or the first scenes of a movie or the first couple chapters of a book, like you feel like you're getting all that stuff, like that might be helpful at first, but if let's say that the rest of the story is pretty good and you decide to reread it or go back to review any of that stuff, that because I've done that where you can find yourself either enjoying those first couple of issues of something or really not enjoying it because you realize like, okay, this is just the introduction to stuff and they're setting the stage and explaining everything, and it's
Or you might get like a eureka. You're like, oh, they laid the groundwork for this really cool thing. At the beginning of this, I didn't realize it at the time, but
yeah. Like because whenever you go back to look at it the second time and you realize like, oh, this was already at full speed.
Yeah.
It's worth it because you can always go back and look at something to catch up. Like whenever you've got a little bit ahead and you want to review and see what all you missed, and either you're going to find things that you missed, which gives it some reread value, or not, and then you just never have any reason to look at those earlier parts again.
Yeah, I was actually just watching I forget if it was a video or an article. I was either reading or watching this thing where it was a bunch of movies where the twist at the end is actually revealed at the very beginning of the movie. It's like fairly common where especially a movie with like a big twist at the end, like the filmmaker will put in like a few things that actually tell you exactly how this whole thing's going to go. I can't remember any examples, but it was actually really
Anything
interesting.
but M. Night Shyamalan.
I can think of one right now.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen the movie The Fallen, I only watched it once. It's
Fallen.
Or is it called
Denzel Washington?
Just Fallen? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about the time I almost died.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right at the very first line of
first
the
line.
movie.
Yeah.
And like up until the end, like you forget that he says almost.
Yeah.
Until
Well,
the-
what you don't. You know what? Let's not spoil it.
I'm sorry, I just spoiled
No.
it, I guess.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I wanna watch it now.
It's not. We didn't spoil it yet.
That's true,
because-
that's true, that's true, yeah.
But no, that's a good example. That's in fact, if you haven't seen Fallen, go fucking watch that shit right now because that's a
Yeah.
great movie.
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it is amazing.
That's the thing. Like that, not everything has to be current events. Like that's one thing that impressed me whenever I first saw it. Just the storytelling on that was
Oh yeah, and John
pretty
Goodman's in
solid.
it.
John Goodman.
Yes.
Well, I'm
Oh,
gonna watch it now.
oh, you haven't seen it?
I
Yeah.
just said I didn't. I've
Yeah,
never seen
it's
it,
John
yeah.
Goodman and it's what's his name? Tony Soprano.
Oh, he's in there too. I forgot.
Yeah, he's
oh,
the other cop.
And
Donald Sutherland.
Oh, Donald.
I forgot that Donald Sutherland's. I'll tell you who is in there. Casey Jones.
Yo,
Wow.
Elias Koteas.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great in that.
Yeah.
Oh man, well he's creepy as fuck. He's so good.
He's only in that first scene, right? Like the first
first
like
bit,
section
yeah,
of
the
the
first bit.
not first scene, but yeah.
Yeah, he's that guy doesn't get enough credit. Elias Koteas is an amazing actor. He's good. Yeah, he's good at playing like the kind of like charming, kind of dirty dude like Casey Jones.
Yeah.
He's good at playing like someone who's like threatening under the surface, where you're like you're really
Yeah.
like kind of it's off-putting.
Yeah. I'll say that scene. I still remember like just the feeling that I had when watching when he's in jail, like he's on death row, I guess, and he's about to be executed. But like he's a bad guy. Denzel Washington's a cop, I guess, and he's this serial mass murderer or whatever. And like the conversation that they have. I mean, it's Denzel Washington, of course, is a really prominent actor and really good actor, and this guy who's not necessarily a household name is just you're watching the two of them on screen. Like he holds up. Like they're
Oh, yeah.
neck and neck on the in this thing. And in real life, there are two guys. And this one's not a cop. This one's not a killer. Like they're acting in front of a camera. They're pretending.
Yeah.
They're playing pretend.
Yeah.
But watching it, I don't know.
They sell it.
They sell
real
it. I believe when watching it, they've got this years long history behind them, and that's something, man. Whenever you hear me dissing Leo and all these hacks, this is the kind of thing that I wish that they would understand. Anyway, yeah, Elias, you're doing a great job. Thanks for listening.
Listen here, you purse snatching pukes. That was a crime, and this is the penalty.
But I think your overall point is that this first issue is a great hook. I mean, you want to know
Yeah.
who the other gods are.
Yeah.
Who are they? What do they represent? And I will tell you, just not even a spoiler, they only get better and more interesting.
And there's the bit at the beginning where there's like the four sitting at the table.
in the 1920s.
Yeah.
They're all sitting there. And the ones that have been killed during that time they're represented by skulls just sitting there at this very big round table.
Right.
Yeah. Keep reading.
Yeah, that's cool.
Gets cooler.
Yeah. What's
Okay.
next? We got Morning Glories.
Morning Glories.
Morning Glories.
Yeah, J-Man.
Me and Greg, we're going to try to do this one together. Like a review of this. Because I'm like pretty confused on what the hell was going on. And he didn't really read it, so. Figured that'd be interesting. It's
Thanks for talking me up there.
Yeah, sure. It's like X-Men First Class, but fucking sadistic. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's happening. It's a bunch of kids that go to a prep school, and there's some weird shit happening to them. That's it. All right, Greg, you got anything else for that?
Working title was Harry Potter and the Morning Glories.
Nice. Because that does look like some Harry Potter shit on the front of that.
Harry Potter and the weird monster
Harry
outside.
Potter in a weird monster house full of psycho killers or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where no, this is based out of Berkeley. But you guys do know that every even public school in England has uniforms. So,
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, they all do that.
but the motto of the
Like
school
Angus.
is for a better future, just plastered all around the school. And
Man, there's weird shit with a ghost.
we have no clue what's going
I
on
don't
with
know what
that
the fuck's
ghost.
happening.
Yeah.
Some spiritual, maybe inside the school to punish students who act out. But the students have, at least the recruits that we meet, have something in common, and that's their birthday.
Yes.
So, and that's really, I mean, they come from different states, Canada, Tokyo, you name it, different countries. And the only thing they really know that they have in common is their birthday.
Fist
Yes.
bump, Becky. Come on.
Yeah, let's do it. Greg and I have the same birthday year.
You guys are morning glory.
Good morning,
Yeah,
Glories,
yeah, we're going to
That's
be
it.
recruited. So if we disappear suddenly, you'll know what happened.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was wondering. It's a cool panel though with that ghost smoke monster, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's that. Especially look what it's doing.
It looks better than the smoke monster. I should have said that.
No, it looks
I
absolutely.
mean, it's very difficult to describe. He's an ethereal figure, muscular but draped in kind of rags.
It looks like he's moving really quickly and like he's in multiple places at once. Anyway, he was shoving his hand through this person's face.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
A
is awesome.
student's face.
Yes, yeah.
They were
who-
saying like, oh, he's gonna be all right. Like he doesn't
It's
look
like no,
he's
his
gonna
eyes
be-
coming out.
Yeah,
on
like
the
he's
his
side.
got
eyes
a
coming
lot
out.
of blood coming out of his face.
Well, I mean, it just I keep thinking brainwashing, and we don't know the intent of the school, and we also don't know why the students have known to rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to read more.
Yeah.
It's a well drawn, well written comic.
I was about actually the reason I asked to take a look at this a second ago was just because I do like the look of it and the layout, like all the I don't know.
It
It
was
was
well drawn.
extremely The shading. I mean, it's even if this were we were talking about black and white stuff before the light in here, like this character, it's obviously it's tough to talk about this, but it looks like you can tell when looking at how a person is shaded, like where the light's coming from, which is
Yeah.
detail that not everyone bothers to put in. And this is in color.
Yeah.
And it also has that icing on the cake. I don't know. Just little
Yeah,
things.
you can tell that the light's coming from like underneath him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff that like, the artist on which in this case, which name am I looking at here?
Joe Eisma.
Joe Eisma.
Not familiar with him.
Me neither.
Yeah, but like Joe Eisma is doing the job of like I guess cinematographer and costume design, like all this I don't know. Like I said, I'm impressed with seeing like the lighting effects that are being artificially drawn in. It's a subtle thing, but yeah, once you notice it the first time, then you can't help but notice it in a good way.
Quick, before I forget, that just talking about artists, I just reminded me. Apparently, today or yesterday, Darwin Cook died. Who did? Why am I blanking? We did with the glowing balls that we talked about.
I remember that on the beach.
Yeah, the beach town.
Oh, that book.
Yeah, he did the art on that book. He's like a big DC artist. What
Fuck is that?
why
Twilight
can't I-
Children?
Twilight
It was
Children.
Twilight
That's
Children.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, Twilight Children. Yeah, he drew Twilight
Don Julie
Children.
would have been all over that. He loved that shit.
Yeah, but
These
yeah,
guys forgot Twilight Children.
Darwin Cook passed away. He had cancer, I guess. So
Cancer
R.I.P.
sucks.
Yeah, R.I.P. Darwin Cook. Good job, buddy.
Man.
I think
he's
his
really
his
young.
design of Catwoman is the one that you still use to like right now. Yeah, I thought this book was pretty cool. I want to know what this school is
Yeah, me
producing.
too.
What's the point?
Right.
There's a shitload of dialogue in that too.
There is.
It's very heavy on the note, but I actually prefer that. I like the heavy dialogue, just like I like heavy, witty dialogue in James Bond movies, as opposed to just Michael Bay action.
Yeah. Well,
I told you guys it kind of reminded me of very vaguely of Ender's Game, just because you're recruited to a school and you're cut off from your home and your
you're not
friends,
sure why.
and you're not entirely sure why.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the big twist, but we'll keep reading.
Another thing that's cool that I thought they did a really good job of is making all the characters feel like actual people. Mm-hmm. Like all the little introductions of each character. There's 6 of them. Of like
Three
the
of
main.
them, I think, have Justin Bieber haircut.
Well,
Yeah,
that
that's
they
true.
all have incredibly distinct personalities. One's,
Yeah.
a farm girl. One's a rich kid from Manhattan who's an asshole, who's been kicked out of 1,000 prep schools.
Yeah.
One's kind of a mysterious Japanese guy from Tokyo, and you don't know much about him. But
Yeah, I do. I like the asshole kid. I like him.
oh, the asshole, the rich kid.
Yeah, because the blonde comes up to Casey comes up to him and says, "Is today your birthday?" And he says something like, "Yeah. Somebody must have told you. So you're gonna like strip for me or what?
Yeah.
Because I'm busy right now." he kind of reminds me of like Bobby Budnick.
Right, stupid kid.
Yeah. He's like such a
Yeah.
dick. Yeah.
I wonder if that's a thing. Like, I don't like assholes in real life, but like,
Really?
and anytime there's an asshole on a movie or a TV show or in anything, like they always end up being my favorite character. For some reason, I don't know why. Because there's news now that like Twin Peaks is coming back, and you know who I was most happy is coming back? Dana Ashbrook
Oh, God.
as Bobby Briggs.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
yes, he was the best.
Yeah, but until you went on with that statement, just like I was just visualizing you just like really enjoying literal assholes on movies.
That's why you were laughing.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
yeah.
I was like, man, you really liked my comment. Okay. No.
Just like picturing you in my mind, you in front of a screen looking at buttholes.
I was just making a layman's diagnosis of sociopathy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you, Greg.
I'm being labeled as so many things here.
Misogynistic.
A misogynistic sociopath.
That wasn't me. That was Don Gili.
with a butt fetish.
Not the bud, the butthole.
The
butthole.
butthole.
Yeah, just the hole. Just the hole.
That's even weirder.
Yeah. So you might not like Moira Quirk's butt, but you might like her butt.
Yeah.
The hole's probably pretty nice too.
Oh God.
That's
We're doing
gross.
really well today.
That's really gross. I almost forgot. We had
Questions.
all these questions. Yeah.
shit.
Why don't we might as well do that.
Yeah.
I think I already shouted out Chris Gamrat for asking our question last week. Thanks, Chris. Oh yeah, and I told Steph Jones that I would shout her out too because I was a dick to her on this text messages now, and she listens to the podcast, and I was like, sorry. So sorry, Steph. I'll see you at trivia. So we got a question from Sean Flowers. Who goes to? Oh, the Flowers family bought us that bottle of whiskey that one time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember, like a while ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to the Flowers family. But his question was, what are your feelings on Spider-Man's new movie being called Homecoming, and the rumors that Michael Keaton is cast as the Vulture? Did you say that, Jared? Did you say that Michael Keaton's
I
definitely
heard
not going
that
to be the
somebody
Wilson?
said that he wasn't doing it.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
I would like that.
who
I mean,
knows with rumors?
I like
I think
everything
it's a good
Michael
idea.
Keaton does.
Yes, I will watch
I hope
anything with
he
Michael
is.
Keaton. Yeah, that'd be great.
I love Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I don't think the title is indicative of anything. Like, and you guys haven't
What's
seen
that-
Civil War
yeah,
yet.
What's that supposed to mean?
But if they do anything that has to do with, like, if it's anything like Spider-Man was in the Civil War, then yes, I'm all for it. Like, Spider-Man was so good in Civil War that.
Oh, I love Spider-Man and so on. But I think we should do a whole thing with like the Dans here.
Oh yeah,
Civil
absolutely.
War.
I'm
For
just
sure.
to address the
Oh,
question.
it's
Like,
so good.
I don't think the title matters as long as.
And who plays Aunt May?
Oh yeah,
great.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Go see it.
yeah, it's great. So I'm fully confident that we're actually gonna get a good Spider-Man movie out of. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about Aunt
Hey,
May.
Michael
Never
Keaton's
mind.
in it. I'll go see it.
Yes,
Birdman,
absolutely.
Batman, Beetlejuice. Lots of B titles. Multiplicity, underrated movie. I will see anything that Michael Keaton's in.
I agree.
So
and
and a
then-
local. He's a local.
Yeah. He's from here.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
from here, Ian's guys.
He got his start on that Mr. Rogers show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was on
bud.
Mr. Rogers.
He wasn't on
Mr.
Mr. Rogers. He worked on in a crew.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
He goes down to Falcon.
What department? Do you know?
I'm not sure what he. I'm not sure if he was behind.
I thought he
the
was a
camera,
grip or something
he might
small
be
like
like
that.
yeah. I know he's on the crew somewhere. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what, but yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Chris Gable's friend was on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
I just pictured
It's a weird fact
Michael
you threw in
Keaton
here.
because you know the neighborhood of make believe and Mr. Rogers is my hero, as you guys can see. That's my background of my phone is Mr. Rogers because he's my hero. But my thought, this is how my terrible brain works, was Michael Keaton going to the neighborhood of make believe and going, "Nice fucking model." That's how my train of thought works.
Oh man, somebody's got to do a good edit of that
God, I
to
wish
make
I
a clip.
Chair.
It would have been. He could have gone on there as Batman. You know,
Yeah,
like at some point. That'd
I
be
mean, the
cool.
Hulk was on that. Hulk. Do you remember the episode of Mr.
Ferrigno?
Rogers? Yes, Lou Ferrigno. The Hulk, and because Mr. Rogers was trying to convince children not to be afraid, and they showed him being put in the makeup,
Right.
taken out of the makeup, and not to be afraid
Oh,
of
I see.
the Hulk. Yeah.
That's
Huh?
cool.
I don't remember that one.
I remember
see
that.
that.
Yeah, they
That's
made a
awesome.
whole
I gotta check
episode
that
of like,
out.
this is just make believe, and you shouldn't be afraid.
Man, Mr. Rogers is the best.
I know.
I met him one time. I was really little, and he was actually right up the street here. He used to go to church in Squirrel Hill.
Yeah.
And
He's a minister. He was a
yeah.
minister.
So my mom took me to that church, and we were like a couple rows behind him. And I guess she had to remove me from the service because
You were
I was
freaking out,
so
Mr.
excited.
Rogers.
Yeah, I was like, wouldn't shut up. Like, Mr. Rogers is right there. But he came out. I guess after the service, like after the service was over, she went up to him. She's like, Mr. Rogers, my son really likes your show, and he came over. He talked to me for like 5-10 minutes. Like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he he got like down on one knee. He was like talking to me like a regular person. Like Mr. Rogers you see on TV is actually how he was. Like he was super nice
God.
and like cared about everybody. It's like it just the kind of person that should never die. Like we need people like that.
We need him around like right now.
We've always needed him around.
Wow.
But yeah, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Rogers.
Shout out to Mr. Rogers, Fred. Fred, we miss you, bud. So as another question we got from Lee Bob, who is friends with Becky.
Hi, Lee.
As you were talking about Slash from Ninja Turtles, you passingly mentioned about the video game, how hard Turtles in Time was as a game in general. That got me thinking. There are plenty of terrible video games based on movies, but what are the best and worst video games based on comic books? And so we earlier before we started, actually yes, that was. Well, yeah. I skipped that part. That's in the question. He said E.T. being a good example. So under the good category, we have this. We talked about this before we started recording, but we have Captain America and the Avengers. I remember that arcade cabinet being in Pizza Hut. And playing the shit out of that. That game was awesome.
You won the book it, so you got to go
Yes.
there.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. You got all five little stars. Man, book it. Awesome. Is that a national thing? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a national thing.
Okay. Yeah. You get your book it stars. You go to Pizza Hut, play some video games in the corner while you're waiting for pizza. But yeah, Captain America and the Avengers was awesome. It was like a beat 'em up, like Double Dragon type side scrolling game. You could be Cap, Vision, Iron Man, or Hawkeye.
Cool.
It's a great game. I think the first villain was is it Cyclone or Hurricane? The guy who has the spin powers. You know what I'm talking about? He has that stupid helmet that looks like Sauron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always get his name mixed up.
I forget what his name is. It's Tornado?
Tornado.
I don't know.
Hurricane. Vortex. I don't know.
One of those.
Sure, it's
Yeah.
one of those
Spinning,
weather
Something like that.
themed
Yeah, it's a
names.
dumb, really stupid villain.
Yeah.
So yeah, Captain America: The Avengers.
Did you get X-Men Game Master's Legacy in there?
I just put X-Men because there's a bunch of really good X-Men
Yeah,
games.
I mean, Game Master's Legacy, I think, was the first. That was actual Nintendo or Super Nintendo, and it was really good. You could be like Wolverine or Storm, and then unlock further players.
Yeah, or even the arcade cabinet X-Men where you could play 4 people.
Right.
That shit
Yeah.
was amazing.
Oh god,
With,
they
like,
actually have that at
Nightcrawler.
Victory Point, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
I mean, they revolve, but
yeah.
jeez.
Yeah. You could be Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Storm.
I was always.
I think
Nightcrawler.
Dazzler was one of them.
Yeah, Dazzler makes sense.
Yeah. Oh,
'Cause,
Colossus.
I mean, it was based. They drew popular characters from the animated TV series,
Yeah.
and Dazzler was in there.
Well, that was actually kind
Jubilee. Sorry,
Wow.
not in the
Dazzler.
arcade one.
in the Game Masters game. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. We got Injustice, Gods Among Us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
that,
awesome fighting game.
that
That's
is
a new
such.
one.
I mean, that's recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that game's
not
cool.
only an amazing game, but an amazing soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
Just a very good. God.
I said this earlier. You can play as the Arrow version of
Yeah.
Green Arrow,
You
which
can
is
play
fucking
as,
awesome.
as Zod too.
Zod.
Yeah.
From Superman
Yeah,
movie.
can you play as
Man of
Flash
Steel,
as
or-
Barry from the show?
I thought you
No,
could unlock him.
I think it's
Can you
because
unlock him?
maybe they made it
Maybe DLC or
downloadable
something?
later because I think
Yeah.
it came out too soon.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's too old for that.
Yeah,
It's a problem with many modern games. They push it.
Yeah.
yeah. There's 2 Spider-Man games I wrote down. Maximum Carnage for Super Nintendo, which is
Yes.
fucking awesome.
Everybody knows that one.
Yeah,
Shit.
and then Spider-Man 2 when the movie came out. Spider-Man 2 where you could actually because the first Spider-Man
So
game
the
was
good
like
Spider-Man.
yeah. In the first Spider-Man movie game, it was like, okay, it was just like kind of like levels. But in Spider-Man 2, they mapped out all of New York City, and you could web sling anywhere you wanted,
Yeah.
and it was fucking awesome. Like that was the first time you could do anything like that, and I played the shit out of that game. And also the narrator is Bruce Campbell.
Oh, get out!
Yeah, I didn't know
That,
that.
that game kicks so much ass.
What's that for again?
I think PlayStation 2, GameCube,
But I think you
Xbox.
can play it on PlayStation, and you can unlock it, I think, on Steam or
Probably
something like that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a really good game. And then Becky, you said Spawn, which I never played.
Spawn was a terrible game. It was Game Boy Color, 1999. Terrible game.
So we'll move the bad category.
Oh yeah.
So of the shittiest comic book games, we got Revenge of Shinobi 2, which in which Spider-Man was a boss,
Yeah.
unlicensed.
Didn't realize that until years later. Like Spider-Man was in that game.
Yeah.
How did they get away with that shit?
It
How
has
did they get
nothing
away
to do with
Mario
anything.
is missing. That wasn't a Nintendo game.
Oh, God.
Really?
There's yeah.
I didn't know that.
That is the one of the worst games ever.
The worst games ever. But sorry,
Just answer
not a
questions.
comic book. Sorry. Terrible game.
It is.
Oh, we have Superman 64, which
Superman
is
I've never
64.
played that.
it just doesn't. I don't know how they even
The
released
first
that
level is
game.
like a training thing where you have to fly through like rings.
It's nearly impossible.
And it's really difficult, and it's the first thing you have to do before
Yeah.
you can do anything else.
Yeah, it sucks.
Flying
Oh
through
my
rings.
God.
I think there's an angry
So
video game
Sonic?
there about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bebe's Kids. I'm not sure if anyone's played Bebe's Kids.
I've never played
But
Bebe's
Bebe's Kids. Bebe.
What's the
Kids
format?
is just stupid
Like,
as
what-
fucking shit.
How do
It
you
was
spell
for
baby?
Super Nintendo. Oh, okay, so Bebe's Kids initially was there's a stand-up comedian. I forget his name, but he created this. One of his bits was about Bebe's Kids, just talking about like some kids that are out of control, like some that you might meet in public, like
Okay.
any kids that are fucking around. And you're like, where is this person? Where are these kids' mom? Like, but
That's Bebe's kid.
that's Bebe's Kids, yeah. So they turned it into a cartoon. So, and then that cartoon movie became a fucking video game, which was just the biggest piece of shit in the world. You've got a punch, kick button, and a jump button, and
Oh God.
Do you punch and kick the kids? Is that what,
no,
what
that would be way
they were
more
acting up in
entertaining.
public?
No, it's the first level.
I'd
I've
play that.
actually never gotten past the first level because it is like
Is that
entirely
terrible?
too difficult. Yeah, it's not interesting. You fight the same like 2 bad guys throughout this whole first level. It's set in a carnival. You play as one of 2 Bebe's Kids. It's just
See, I was picturing a totally different game. I'm thinking that like you are yourself in public, like the bad guys in the game are these kids that are just like out in Kennywood, and you're like, where are they? Like, oh man, they're like just peeing on like the hot dog stand or something, and like so you've got your punch and kick fight, so you're punching and kicking these kids, and then like at the end of the level, you finally meet their parents, and their parents is the boss of that level, and yeah, that's
Childhood did you-
No, this sounds amazing. We need to make this game happen.
because
That's
so far
fucking great.
so far
Yeah.
it sounds pretty good. Like I'm imagining something like I would play that.
Yeah, you have to like figure out the ways to like defeat the kids, and then the parents show up and they're like, "What are you doing to my kids?" And you're like, "You're an asshole.
Yeah.
Watch your goddamn kids."
And then you got like the rides director at like the old mill telling you to sit down. He's the boss.
Yeah, it's been easy up to that point, and then the boss is like an adult, so that's gonna be a tough fight.
Yeah.
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 It's-
Some of the fights
Wow.
require you to just walk away.
and like that's the whole level is like they've got that many kids, like that, so they're that big of an asshole.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, as it progresses, there gets to be more and more kids. So like the person who's the parent is a bigger asshole.
Yeah.
Like the last level has like 30 kids. And
They
you're like,
just
who
jump
the
all over
fuck
you,
is
just
this?
hitting your leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who the fuck
Yeah.
is the parent of these kids?
There's dogs involved.
Someone
and
who
stuff.
has a special in TLC.
Oh no, it's someone who's like just fat as fucking in one of those wheelchairs, the
Oh, the
motorized
the
wheelchairs.
Jazzies.
Yeah, or a rascal.
I've been run over on the feet by those. Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah,
both.
it's just two people like that run rascals. The boss fight's hard as fuck because like they're so fat you can't hurt them.
You're
They
gonna
keep running
distract
over
them
your
with
feet.
like a donut or something.
Anyway,
So yeah,
so
Lee,
yeah,
that's our-
that's enough of that.
that's our-
That's enough of that.
those are our games.
Yeah. So we'll move. The last thing we'll do Karnak, so we didn't do it
Oh,
last
Karnak,
time,
yeah.
and we didn't even get to see Captain America 2, which is why we didn't do Karnak last time. But
I'm sure we'll do Civil War in a special or
we'll
something.
do a special for it once the other two are back. But yeah, so Karnak is a I'm not gonna say regular Marvel book, but it's a
I think, like
Marvel
Vision,
title?
it's a very unique Marvel book.
yeah. It's definitely along the lines of like I think it's one of their better ones.
I agree
Like
completely.
anytime Marvel steps out of the box and does something interesting, it's really good.
Yeah.
Vision's good. This is good. There was something else that was really good. Well, I forget what it was. There was something else that was really interesting that was great. I'll think of it later. But this is an excellent book. So Karnak is they say he's an Inhuman, but he's never been exposed to the Terrigen Mist, which is okay. So for those of you that don't know, Inhumans are kind of like mutants, but instead of just automatically getting powers whenever they mature, they have to be exposed to this mist or this element called
Substance,
Terrigen
yeah.
substance. Yeah. So once they're exposed to this Terrigen mist, they go into a cocoon and they come out with whatever powers they have inside them. Sometimes it's really horrible, and they come out deformed and like completely unable to do anything. In which case, sometimes they just like the other Inhumans just kill them. But sometimes they come out with like really awesome powers. So Karnak is unique among the Inhumans in which he was never exposed to the mist, but he somehow has these power. His power is that he can see the flaws in all things. So with a touch, he can kill somebody or break down a door or make something explode, shatter rocks.
Or he can see their flaws.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he can see their
the-
personal problems.
Or that, yeah, he
Yeah.
can. Yeah, it's like a really expansive power. It's really cool. I don't really understand how it's supposed to work, but
I'm interested to see his drawbacks as opposed to other Inhumans, given that he hasn't been exposed
right.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, and when we first find him in the book, there's a lot of really great little subtle because this book is, it's kind of dark, but it's kind of funny.
I mean, the dialogue's very clever. He almost talks like Vision in that he lacks empathy, but it's
Yeah.
very clever.
Yeah. And when we first see him, he's in this in the Tower of Wisdom, which I'm not even sure where that is, but it's in the middle of like a desert or something. And
Branson, Missouri.
and it's just him. Like when you first see him, it's him sitting cross-legged in front of just like a stone block.
Yeah.
He's just like I'm assuming he's just staring at it. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I just think that's funny in itself. Like
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
it's just him staring at a piece of stone. And one of his like minions says, "Magister, the infernal device is calling." And so he gets up and like 4 of his other dudes open this huge stone like vault
Right,
door,
right.
and it's the infernal device is a telephone.
Yes.
And he answers it by saying, "I am Karnak,"
I have a card.
and that just sets up the whole thing. Like that's how you're like, okay, this guy is something else. He keep the only piece of technology he keeps in the whole tower is the phone behind up like a huge
And it's
door.
regarded to as the infernal device.
Yeah.
So.
Which is especially funny if you think of just cell phones in general now. Where it's
Oh,
like,
right.
People are just on them all the time. They're like, it's like it's a brain fucking melting piece of shit device.
Ask Jer how he feels about that.
Yeah. But it goes from there. It's pretty awesome. So he's summoned by Shield. Coulson actually comes to get him and says like someone's been kidnapped, right?
Right. A girl, I think a little, or a
boy.
young person, a boy, yeah.
Yeah, a little boy who's a mutant, I guess. Is he a
Well, they
mutant?
think he's a mutant, but like
Or an
Karnak,
inhuman.
he hasn't been. He's an inhuman, but he hasn't, like Karnak, been exposed to them.
Right.
just yet,
So
yeah.
it basically tasks Karnak with trying to find this boy, and I know at least in the first issue, or maybe the second, I don't. He infiltrates this where they say the kid's being held, and he just runs right through a bunch of people.
Right.
And with his power, it's just him kind of touching like weak points in their body, and their limbs are exploding off, and he's like, yeah, people are just literally exploding in front of him, and it's pretty awesome. And the art is really cool.
I really like the art.
Yeah, so it's definitely, I think, worth checking out.
Yeah.
Although they changed artists.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, because it was
Oh,
Zafino.
3 different artists.
Well,
oh,
it's-
from after the second one.
Yeah, Zafino. I guess that person had some kind of personal issue, so they couldn't continue. So it goes from them to being Bashi, I guess.
Okay.
But I personally thought that the Zafino art was really awesome, and as it goes on, it's cool, but it's not the same. That's
It's a very limited color palette too.
Yeah.
It's green, white, red. I think that's basically.
It's almost
it.
like a Saving Private Ryan kind of.
Right, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like a sepia, but green. Like all the colors drained out of it.
But nevertheless, well done.
Yeah, really awesome.
Well, written, colored, and drawn. So.
Yeah, and the dryness of Karnak is the character itself is really funny.
Yeah, I forget how exactly they explain it. Like he has no sense of humor. He lacks empathy. So all of his responses, like they say that much. So the result of that is that all of his responses are very blunt.
Yeah.
And just doesn't really have a regard for how he comes across, in neither a good way nor a bad way. And it's not like he's all knowing. He's not exactly a god or anything. In fact, I think he's in, was it Paris or something, and like a waitress approaches him and he says, "I'm sorry, like I don't have aptitude in all the languages of this world," or something. It's just, so he has limitations. That being a minor one, I guess. My favorite line is at the end of the third issue. He just kills a bunch of people, and somebody asks him, like, freaking out, "Are you Satan?" His response is, "Satan was just a story. I am Karnak."
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
My favorite part.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. And it's weird because the other comic that this kind of, in terms of, its remarkability as a different Marvel, unique offering from Marvel is Vision. And somewhat similar character in terms of his lack of empathy. But
no,
but
I don't
different.
think the Vision has a lack of empathy.
Really?
No, the Vision develops as a.
You're right. He does.
He's doing his. He's okay. So if Karnak is a Vulcan, then Vision is Data.
Okay. I get it.
Like not Spock, but like an actual Vulcan, where they kind of don't give a fuck what people think. They're like, listen, this is the facts. These are the facts. But Data is like, I'm doing my best to be one of you. And
I mean, the whole point of this new Vision series is then
he creates a
fitting
family.
in with, yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to be more human.
Right.
He falls in love with the Scarlet Witch earlier.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, you'll see.
Well, no, that's yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I would say that Karnak is more of like a Vulcan who doesn't give a fuck. Yeah.
I can see that.
I can't think of the third series I was thinking of. There's another series that's interesting too from Marvel that they've been doing. It's not like their other stuff. I don't know. I'll think of it later. Yeah. Anything else to say about Karnak?
You mentioned Coulson too. Like, what's happening with him in the movies? Like, are they going to reintroduce him?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
He's on the show, so like the Avengers still think he's dead. That's fucked up. Like Nick Fury knows that he's not dead.
Well, Nick Fury is a
But he
is a
hasn't told
colossal
anything.
dick.
Like, god damn, no, what a dick move.
Oh yeah.
Cap's gonna be mad. He's gonna be
Oh,
like,
Cap
I
will be-
cried at his funeral, you fucker. Like,
Oh yeah. I think that's probably one of the reasons. That's probably one of the justifications they have for not having him in the movies is because like if the Avengers found that out, they'd be pissed.
they've been hiding that the whole time from them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd love to see the crossover, but I don't know if that'll happen.
How did they like? Because I remember seeing him die in the first Avengers movie,
Yeah,
right?
Loki kills him.
Yeah, and then I haven't like
They brought him back to life on that show.
on the show. How did
Agents of
they?
S.H.I.E.L.D..
How did they do that?
Nick Fury used is it Kree blood or something
Yeah,
like that?
Kree blood.
Yeah, to restore him.
Okay.
Yeah, like the Kree, like an alien race. In Guardians of the Galaxy. Ronan is the bad guy in that movie is a Kree.
Okay.
So yeah, their blood had like for whatever reason was able to bring Coulson back to life. In like the weird experiment or something.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing again at the Captain America, like because he had the card and
The
everything.
card,
Like, it was
yeah.
such a
Yeah.
huge sympathetic moment.
Well,
Oh, God, I love that
no.
moment.
Immediately afterwards, whenever Nick Fury tosses the cards on the table, and there's blood on them, and then
Says he had him on his pocket.
Maria Hill comes in. She's like, "Those weren't in his pocket. Those were in his locker." And Nick Fury's like,
Sherbatsky.
"Yeah, Nick." Yeah, she's like, "You're a dick." And Nick Fury's like, "Yeah, well, then
It was the push they needed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That would be. I would actually like to see that revelation come through where Cap says like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I just saw Coulson. You fucking asshole. He's fine."
I was, picking up stuff in my mailbox over in the office.
Yeah. Also, you think of it from Coulson's perspective, like he's a huge like Captain America fanboy,
Right.
and he can never see Captain America face to face ever again.
That sucks.
Do we have anything else to talk about?
Well, I realized that we never said that we were grown-up human comic people. We didn't say where we can be found, and we didn't introduce ourselves.
Oh yeah.
I just thought of it. I'm like, wait a second. Did we?
Damn, those are all important things.
We could just close on it. I'm Becky.
I'm Jer.
Greg.
I'm Jared, and we are grown-up human comic people. You can go down to Southside Comics on the south side of Pittsburgh. I don't exactly remember the address, but it's 18
Never
something.
can, yeah.
Well, Dan's usually the one who does
Yeah,
that. But
Dan's the one who says
it's
it.
across from Burger King, you know. That's how we give directions to Pittsburgh anyway. It's like you just get down Carson Street. You know, once you get to Burger King, and go across the street. It's right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just go to 18th Street. It's right near there. It's on the same side of the street as Fatheads and Casey's.
It's 2 businesses down from Steel Cactus for all you hipsters.
Right. Fuck that place.
Yeah, agreed.
No, actually, don't fuck that place. I like some of the, who works there. I don't know. Some people who work there are cool. Anyway, yeah. So that's where you can find us. You can find Dan there all the time. Sometimes
You can find us there as well.
Yeah,
quite
we're
often.
there often. You can if you want to come out to a Radical Trivia show, you can find me at OTB. Just go to radicaltrivia.com
Yeah.
and then all the
The
shows.
Oaks in about a half an hour.
Yeah, I'll be at the Oaks in a little while here. But yeah, so come and go. Anybody else? I'll shout out. Listen to Midnight Rose. That's our band. Me, Jared, and Greg are in a band.
Yeah.
We got some classic rock grooves going on.
Yeah, come on out. Yeah, we'll be playing some shows coming up soon. Yeah, we'll announce those as they come closer. But yeah, it's that'll be a lot of fun. It's a lot of we get be part of the party.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook and YouTube. And that's Midnight. That's MIDKNIGHT. Midnight Rose. So yeah, come just see us on Facebook, YouTube, listen to our shit. We have a what's the other website?
Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation.
Yep.
Yeah, come and like vote for. I don't know how that works.
It's like Facebook, but just for bands. Pretty
Okay.
much, yeah.
Yeah, go to Reverb Nation. Check that out.
Any-
Any other plugs? I think that's pretty much.
Hello, my future girlfriend.
This is what I sound like.
This is what I sound like.
Jesus.
He's creepy as hell, and he turns out he's gay. That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how we're gonna end.
Yeah.
All right.
Enjoy.
That'll be the sound bit at the
Google
end.
"Hello, my future girlfriend." You will be amused.
All right. Well, that's Grown Up
ya.
Human Comic People signing off. Peace.
Bye.
Grown up human comic people.
everything I love about my childhood.
I'll say-
Michael Bay can.
Yeah. Well,
We've insulted
Yeah.
him several times on the podcast.
Mike, if you're listening, once again, fuck you.
Dude, go fuck yourself.
Just go fuck yourself. Go take all your money, shove it up your ass, and die.